It's the Gas Panic, and everybody knows on BBC introducing in Manchester.
The Gas Panic demonstrate a work ethic that is second to no other independent artists, and that will be their legacy.
It's probably about the best track you've played today.
It's like an interviewer's dream, this lad, I tell you.
You heard, like I'm never gonna ask someone. Hands up, you heard, how am I supposed to be someone? I bet you think my heart is cool. Keep on, you heard it first.
Hello and welcome to the Gas Panic podcast. Take two. I am your host Josh, and I'm here today with Paul, the keyboardist of the Gas Panic.
Hello. Full of beans this morning.
Let's get the plugs out of the way straight away. So we're doing Blackthorn on the 23rd of July, which I think we mentioned in all the other podcasts. Made fun of a bit in one of them. Didn't mean to do that.
Best not to slag it off before we play.
No. Who are we playing with again? Stereo MCs. Do you remember them?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I remember one tune.
Which one?
What the fuck's it called now?
Ring, 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 ring.
Go on.
Gotta get myself.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, the Vodafone tune.
Yeah. Who else are there?
Maximo Park.
Books from Boxes.
Somebody who's no longer in Catfish in the Bottle, man.
Yeah, Billy Bibby. That's a... See, I know we're going to go straight back into it.
I know you can't. It's a funny plugging it for somebody for a gig.
Yeah.
Someone who's in a band who made it, but he's not in the band anymore.
Yeah, but it's... I just think the name is like... If your last name is Bibby...
Don't call your son Billy.
No. Or anything that just sounds the same as your last name. Like me being called Hoods Woods.
Neville.
Oh yeah, Neville. He's a football player, isn't he?
He's the dad. Neville's dad, yeah. We won't get onto football with Josh.
Why not? Offside!
Josh is our resident football expert.
Yeah, my favourite is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Everyone remembers him. He scored in the treble, didn't he?
He did.
That's what I mean.
Football knowledge from Josh. We'll do a football special next week.
We
could do one for the Euros, actually. It's the Euros this summer. We'll do a football special.
I only know the Euros is the money.
Now the European Championships.
Oh, right. How's that going?
It starts in June, so I'll let you know. It's not your strong point, is it?
It's
football?
Definitely not, no. I know more about wrestling than I do about football.
Yeah. I know fuck all about that.
On July the 15th, we are going to be playing the Deaf Institute, which is a really cool venue. I was actually there about 2 weeks ago. And I guess it's great.
Yeah, it's a top venue. I really like the place. Been to quite a few club nights in there. Not seen any bands in there, but it's a top venue. I really like that upstairs room. Yeah,
I tried getting in last week to watch a band, but apparently I arrived too late. So they just wouldn't let me in.
You did not say, do you know who I am?
I'm Josh from the Gas Panic.
You must have heard of us.
Yeah, we'll be playing here soon. And other than that, we might try and get a gig booked for May. But we're trying to find people, or bands rather, that...
Fit the bill.
Yeah, that fit the bill, yeah. That's the politest way of putting it. So, anyway, before we linger on that too long, shall we get to this week's news? But before we do, actually, I know you've been listening to the podcasts. What do you think of them so far?
They've been entertaining, but possibly the most ill-informed thing I've ever listened to. So I'm here to bring a bit of sensible debate to this one.
Well, that's good, because I know... See, this is the thing with Ian. Ian's a bit more responsible than myself or John, so he kind of reins it in a bit. John is kind of... We may as well just call it a nonsense podcast when me and John start
It's a good
talking.
review of the news, if you can call it the news. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not the big, important topics, is it? What?
I don't know, I beg to differ.
Oh, I've seen some interesting stuff on here. The sea lion one last week was very interesting.
Okay, so this week's news, you're coming into it cold. I've seen this already. This one is about April Fools. And in fact, just before we start, did you get any pranks played on you?
Not this year, no.
No. What's the
They
worst?
always seem to be the same ones. I remember years ago when we must have been 16, 17, and someone phoned up pretending to be from Sony,
Yeah.
saying that they wanted to sign the moods, and then I just heard my dad and all his mates in the background laughing and taking a piss.
Did you go along with it?
Not really, no.
No.
At first I was a bit intrigued, you know what I mean? But you don't get phone calls from Sony asking, can we sign you?
No, definitely not. But I remember I used to work in admin when I was like 16, and one of the guys came to see me as a band, and then it wasn't even April Fool's, he'd just done it as a joke. I think he was leaving. He'd done the exact same thing, but I fell for it. But he called me on the works phone, so Sony had apparently gotten the works number to my desk, and I'm like, yeah, we heard you, it was really great. And then he just went, I'm not really from Sony. And I was like, fuck you, man, that's so mean.
It's harsh, it is harsh.
But anyway, let's start with some classic April Fools.
It's been the pride of the Parisians for over a century, so the French were horrified to read about plans to dismantle the Eiffel Tower and move it to the site of the recently completed Disneyland Paris on April Fool's Day in 1992. ITN addressed the problem of office heating bills when they brought the idea of thermal ties to the nation.
Our research has discovered that heat loss from the body is particularly important in the front of the chest. And this tie, this thermally insulating tie, is to prevent heat loss from that part of the body.
So would you wear one?
They probably could have made a design a little bit better. It just looks like he's got a roll of baker foil wrapped around his neck.
It looks like one of those eco-friendly bags.
Can we class this as news, seeing as it's from 1985 as well? Does the word news not imply it's relatively new and recent? I wasn't even born when this story was out.
There's that common sense going into play.
This is it. I'm going to try and make this as sensible as possible.
But, yeah, well, I mean, ironically, this wasn't even news back in 1980, whatever, because this is like fake news. These are things that... So I'm wondering, did they put this out on TV and then just leave it at that and go, there you go, hopefully you should work that out, that's an April Fool.
Yeah, I remember they used to do quite a lot back in the day where it'd be on telly in the morning, GMTV, and yeah, used to do daft ones in the morning.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, you'd realise, because they play it over and over again as well, when you've seen it 3 times in an hour, you suddenly realise this is absolute bullshit, this.
I would love them to do something like, we're going to war.
Just mass panic.
Yeah. I would love that, and then just April Fool, and then these cannons being fired at Syria.
I saw one this year, I think it was The Independent, put one out that Wayne Rooney was quitting football to become a WWF wrestler.
I think I heard that, actually. What would his name be? I guess just Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, I think it sells itself, doesn't it, really?
It does, yeah. You wouldn't change him to anything else because he's such a famous person. It's like, what would Tom Cruise be as a wrestler? Let's go with that.
The ties not only kept these office workers toasty, they're also deemed to be a fashion hit.
Do you find it awkward or uncomfortable to wear, or rather silly?
No, in fact, a lot of my friends...
So this is ties and cravats.
What is that?
It's a thermal cravat.
It doesn't even look like a cravat though, does it?
What's a cravat?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
I always thought that's what a cravat was. It was like a weird, like, scarf kind of ribbon thing.
I might have been lying when I said I was going to be informed with this one.
No, in fact, a lot of my friends have asked me if I can get hold of bows for them.
And in the biggest city planning story of the decade, when it was announced that St Paul's was to be moved
I was
to
going to
North
say,
London.
Jesus is back then.
St Paul's has
That'd
stood
be a
here
cracker.
for the last 300 years. But for the past 30 years, the volume of traffic and heavy lorries going past has been shaking the foundations. So now the GLC say there's no alternative. It has to be moved, both for its own safety and to improve the flow of traffic.
Church representatives were not amused.
Well, I'm entirely against it. I think it's important that St Paul's should be in the centre.
There you go, and then they just cut off the news there.
And that was the end of the story.
That was it, just...
He's probably been disgraced, that priest, that's why they had to cut it off quick.
Yeah.
He's been since caught out and moved to another parish.
It is funny how each podcast, we've really tried to rein it in a bit, but each podcast we talk about paedophiles. They are funny though, aren't they?
Just because you keep including stories about schools and priests,
know,
it's kind of inevitable we're going to go that way with a story at some point.
I know, yeah, there's not much left when you see a priest. And if you had to make a joke about a priest, it's going to go that way, isn't it?
That's it.
That's unfortunate. But there we go. This next story, this one's just a kind of flippant one. It's
as opposed to all the sensible stories we usually do.
Well, this is even more flippant. This is just like, oh, really? Did that happen? This is about the West Yorkshire Police were called by a woman on a night out saying, oh, well, in fact, I'll just give away the news.
Just run the story,
I'll just play it, yeah.
West Yorkshire Police, what's the emergency?
Hiya, it's not really emergency, but I was with some clubs and I went to McDonald's and they said that I'm too drunk to go in. I've had 2 drinks, I'd like a police officer, please.
Right, okay. I mean, this is at the McDonald's that refused to entry, yeah?
Do you know McDonald's opposite Prison Club, it's opposite Tiger?
Right, okay. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
their premises. I mean, it's their right to choose who comes in and who doesn't. It's not a matter for the police.
Sir, I've done nothing wrong.
Well, I'm not saying that you have. What I'm saying is it's up to them. It's up to them who they let in and who they
But
don't.
I have paid entry.
We can't make them.
I'm sorry, right?
We can't make them, okay? It's not an emergency call. We won't be attending. Goodbye.
I like his attitude, me.
I do.
He might as well have just said, stop fucking wasting our time when there's real emergencies.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I just think girls always make a big drama out of everything. I can imagine how, I mean, I know that's really sexist, but they do though, don't they?
They do.
It's just when they get drunk, like it's when you go out on a night out, how often do you see a girl in tears?
All the time.
It just happens all the time. And then, God, now we're going to get dark. Then, what's it called? The worst thing is when you see a girl in tears, and then there's those few guys that are like, this is my opportunity.
Yeah. The knight is shining armour.
Yeah, this is my opportunity to shine. So a guy just fakely kind of sits down with her going, are you okay? I'm like, you're so transparent. But yeah.
Just go Burger King or KFC or something, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, why is she so set on McDonald's? And she also said she paid entry.
I've never known a McDonald's where you have to pay to get in.
Yeah. But how does that work? So that's their... Oh yeah, so I guess it's just trespassing, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's their right to refuse anyone onto the property, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially a fucking drunken idiot like her.
Yeah, exactly, who thinks she has the right to just be there whenever she wants. I should be there when it's closed. Lock me in. So our next story. This is
fucking hell, another priest. Jesus Christ.
This is my favourite story because apparently what do you think of the Queen? What are the first? Tell you what. Give me a list of 3 words that come into your head when you think of the Queen.
Fuck her off. Just fuck her off. Just get rid of him, a lot of him, Joe. I just don't agree with that royal side of things.
I mean...
Drain on resources and just... Again, it looks, before we even start, just that freeze frame looks like it's going to be a pointless story. We all know the Queen's not a fun personality who's a barrel of laughs this year.
Well, so you're saying that hilarity... would be quite down on the list of things you would think the Queen would be.
I'd assume so, yeah.
Yeah, well, the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Yeah, the well-known comedic expert.
No, yeah, he thinks she's hilarious. So let's just delve into this a bit.
We're celebrating this year 60 years of the Queen's reign. It's only the second time in British history that we've had a diamond jubilee for a monarch, so that in itself is pretty important, quite an achievement. But I think this particular 60 years even more than Queen Victoria's 60 plus years, is significant simply because of the kind of 60 years it's been. The rate of change in society, the way in which nationally and internationally so much has shifted. I hadn't had any contact at all with royalty before coming to this job. I didn't know what to expect, really. I found in the Queen someone who can be friendly, who can be informal, who can be extremely funny in private, and not everybody appreciates just how funny she can be, who is quite prepared to tease and to be teased, and who...
Frankie Boyle must be shitting himself.
How would you tease the Queen?
Just call her German.
Is she German?
She's German, isn't she? And he's Greek, Prince Philip.
Oh, I know so little about
they're all
everything.
German heritage, dude.
I had no idea. But I was just thinking, how does he think that she's like, on what basis? I reckon it's to do with what's it called? Wealth. You know, where rich people find stuff funny that other people don't. It's like, I backed out of that so quick because I didn't have anything to say. I did think of something before. I actually had something for this.
What I think it is with this kind of thing as well is she could well be really funny, but I think it'd be, judging off Prince Philip, it'd be like Roy Chubby Brown, Bernard Manning, inappropriate racial jokes, you know what I mean? She probably does all these things where she has to meet a load of kids from Brixton playing steel pan.
Yeah,
and they go home and just be ruthlessly racist about
Oh, yeah.
That's what I can imagine they're like in private. I mean,
But they
Prince
forget
Philip
their
doesn't
instruments.
even just leave it behind closed doors, is it? He's just an openly racist anyway at these kind
Is
of
it?
things. Do you watch telly, you?
I don't know. This is
That's
the
why
only
you're
telly
so
I
ill-informed.
watch. Yeah, the only thing I know is that, was it Prince William, I think, didn't he encourage the animal thing? I should know this because we done a story on it last week. Which prince is all right with animal shooting?
Probably both of them, to be fair. But I think it was Prince William on last week.
Was it? Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
Prince
he's a
Harry
dick.
gives a fuck about anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's, the one royally I actually don't mind is Prince Harry.
Is that he was?
He's the young ginger one who's not really Prince Charles' son. It's James Hewitt's son.
Right.
Allegedly, for any lawyers.
I only remember one story about him. Didn't he get caught smoking weed?
Yeah, and he wore a Nazi uniform to a fancy dress.
Well, you don't know
And
that.
he got caught in Vegas playing strip poker with a load of American birds. I think he's a great guy, me, to be honest. What it is he knows he's got no chance of ever being the king. What his brother's going to be the king. If you know your brother's going to be the king of a country, you can do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And not care about what's going to come back to it.
It's not that bad. It's not like he was wearing a Nazi uniform like just around Buckingham Palace. He was doing
He
it.
might do, you never know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so. But we only have evidence of him at a fancy dress
Yeah.
party. I remember my dad dressed as a Nazi for his 40th.
Yeah.
And he's not racist. I don't think. But yeah. And for that, I was the mask. That was the best costume I've ever had.
The mask. I've only ever been to a fancy dress once where I've actually dressed up. And it was supposed to be Keith Lemon. But I got told I looked like Margaret Thatcher, like Robbie Savage, just loads of people, but never Keith Lemon.
But it's like Keith Lemon's quite small and not at all like your build.
Plus, I've got a big beard and I tried to stick a ginger tash over my already big ginger beard, so it just looked fucking ridiculous.
Oh God. I'm so gutted that I can't remember what I was going to say about the Queen. But let's see what else he said. It might come back to me.
And who, while retaining her dignity always, doesn't stand on her dignity in a conversation. I think we've been enormously fortunate in this country to have, as our head of state, a person who has a real personality, a personality that comes through more and more, I think, in her public utterances. Someone with insight and judgment, and with immense stamina, and a depth of commitment that I think is immensely impressive to all of us. And in living that out as our head of state, She has, I think, genuinely helped us as a society to keep our heads collectively, not to be panicked by change. She's very gently steered that cultural process in her own way, and I think we owe a very great debt to her for that and many other things.
He didn't supply one bit of evidence that she's a funny personality.
I know.
How is that what they get from that story?
I know. Yeah, he's just well. The Archbishop of Canterbury thinks she's hilarious. It's like, does he? Let's report that. But all he said there is he listed loads of attributes that I would never attribute to the Queen. She's got stamina. You should see her on a run. She can go for ages.
She does triathlons.
And I wonder whether the glove thing is like a joke.
It might be a tribute to Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Well, that'd just be the one glove, wouldn't it?
Well, true, yeah.
But yeah, I never really understood the glove thing. I always thought, like, isn't this just some class, like a class kind of thing? Like, I don't want to touch peasants.
Anything that them peasants have touched.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. She'll wave with the glove and she'll shake people's hand with the glove. And I heard that you can never reach for the Queen.
No, you're not even meant to talk to her until she spoke to you first.
Really?
That's supposed to be the protocol behind it. You don't speak until spoken to.
Who else do you have a relationship like that with? There can't be anyone.
No one, really.
Yeah.
Teachers when you're a kid. That's about it.
Yeah, but even so, you could go, Miss, like, can you help me with this? Whereas with the Queen, she just probably wouldn't respond. Imagine that, Miss, can you help me with this? Miss! But yeah, fuck it. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Queen.
It's just a fucking waste of time and waste of money in it for me. That's the only problem. I mean, they talk about, it was on last week, here's a bit of information for you for this one.
Well, thank God.
They reckon it costs about £40 million a year for the royal family. That's how much we pay out of taxes. But that's without all the police and secret services for everywhere they go.
Yeah.
All the people, every time you go somewhere, they have to fucking repaint it, make it look dead nice. They apparently build a new toilet for everywhere she goes, just in case she needs to use a toilet.
Really?
Like you can't have her in a portal on a building site, can you? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Sunday sport on the floor there in the corner.
But I did hear that about Barack Obama as well. I heard that, well, I don't know whether they build a toilet, but I think they keep all of his stalls. No, I literally heard that on Mark Maron. I think I did. Hopefully I didn't make it up.
You made this up.
But apparently they do that just in case to constantly check to check his health. Maybe he's been poisoned.
True, yeah.
Something like that. So take that away with you. Could be true.
Yeah.
Could be lies. April Fool.
That's it, yeah. It's not real. No one collects Barack Obama's turds.
I reckon there's a person hired to do that. That would be. I imagine that pays very well. Would you do that?
What, collect someone's turds?
For a lot of money.
Depends what they're paying. That used to be a proper privileged job for the royal family. There used to be someone who would wipe their arse.
What, a privileged job?
It would be a privileged job, yeah.
Who would
to clean up after the king or queen?
Yeah, but there's cleaning up after the king or queen, and then there's cleaning up.
You just use a hose. Be easier from a distance.
Why can't they do it themselves? Just use a bidet.
True.
So, okay, so what's the least amount of money you would take for
collecting turds?
Yeah, collecting the Queen's turds. What's the yearly salary?
I'd need a bit more. I want to see the job spec first. I want to see, like, do we get gloves and can you just use a scoop?
You get gloves. No, you just have
she might insist
to pick it out.
You stand behind her and catch it.
Do you get? She's got gloves. You get gloves. but yeah. So you imagine she's probably going about twice a day.
It's an easy gig, isn't it?
It is pretty easy. You've only got 2 jobs a day.
That's it, yeah.
And that's dependent on she's regular. Just don't give her prunes.
That's it. It is an easy job. Like, I don't think it. I do it for quite a little money. That, to be fair.
Yeah. Go on. You may as well mention.
$20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year. I'd be up for that. I reckon you could do other things as well.
You've got loads of free time on your hands, haven't you, for the rest of the day?
Could get a whole other job.
That's it.
But then
Easy
again,
pickings.
But then again, literally. But then again, I guess you wouldn't have a very flexible work schedule.
No,
you could
well,
go.
true,
I'm
yeah.
going to get a job in IT, and then they like call you up mid spreadsheet.
And you could work from home. I'll take your laptop to work with you.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Just be sat in the toilet in Buckingham Palace doing your work. Waiting for the next royal turd.
Instead of the people that spray you in the cubicle, it's the people that catch shit. Anyway, that's all the tawdry humour for today. This next story is about dead people.
Dun dun dun.
So let's get straight into it.
It's one of those scenarios that's pretty funny in movies, but you hope it never happens to you in real life. A doctor in Germany declared a 92-year-old woman dead, only to have her wake up screaming in a refrigerated room at a funeral home. The Associated Press reports that a caregiver at the retirement home where the woman lived found her without a pulse one day and called the doctor. Unfortunately, the woman died 2 days later at a hospital from heart disease unrelated to the incident. The doctor has been charged with negligent bodily harm and could face prison time if convicted. Believe it or not, people get mistaken for dead a little too often. A doctor in Poland was in shock after a 91-year-old woman she declared dead woke up in a morgue hours later when an undertaker noticed the body bag moving and found the...
I think old people, like, sometimes should just be a little bit more aware. Like,
that's not their fault.
I know, but it's like, because there's one where they wake up mid funeral, so that's like a few days afterwards. Like, wake up. You know what I mean? I know you're tired, but like, just like blink or something. Like,
I'm very much on the side of what that news reporter said. That it's doctors' negligence. You can't just stick a 90-year-old woman in the freezer.
Yeah, we don't
if she's not dead.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't do that. But what I'm saying is like how long do you usually sleep for? I sleep for about 6 to 8 hours, something like that. So, who are these old people that are like, you know what, I need a good 72 hours sleep. That'll do me. Just no wonder people think you're dead. Like, I'm not saying it's their fault, but like, just
I think you're being very harsh here.
Well, no, I just think, like, wouldn't you just set an alarm? Like, gotta wake up at some point.
But if they're finding no pulse or nothing, to all extents and purposes, it's not just someone who's fell asleep.
It's because
the doctor's gone round while she's in bed and gone, right, she's dead. Get her in the freezer.
It's only been asleep an hour, she's dead.
Get her in the freezer.
But I reckon what's happened, because I'm a doctor, you see, I think they've gone past REM.
Yeah.
And they've gone into, like, I reckon they've seen all the light and everything like that. Now they're like, bloody hell, how do I get out of here? And then they just find a way out. God's like, bloody hell.
Where's she gone now? She wandered off too.
Stay with me, Sheila. Bloody hell, I'm taking you home.
It is mad that there's still cases of this though. Like, you could understand it years ago. You used to hear all them horror stories about it years ago, and taking lids off coffins and there's all nail marks where they've tried to scratch their way out because they've obviously woke
bloody
up.
Hell.
But in this day and age, how do you not realise someone's not dead?
Well, what else can... Because you study medicine, don't you?
I do medicinal chemistry, yeah.
Yeah. So, what else could you check for if you don't
Well,
get
listen,
a
like I
pulse?
say, if there's no pulse and they're technically brain dead and you think, right, they're done, but there has been loads of cases of these. It's almost like a coma-like conditions where they just, to all extent and purposes, there's nothing going on. And they just spring into action again a few days later. Maybe to stop this ever happening is as soon as they're declared dead, just make sure they're done in. So just shoot them or kill them properly.
my
Do you know what I mean?
God,
Just to be on the safe side. So you don't have this shit popping back up.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I would say, why not just like give them a nudge? You know what I mean? Wake up.
Yeah, but it'd take more than a nudge, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it doesn't take a bullet to the head to wake
Well,
up.
then you're guaranteed they're not going to wake up and give you a load of grief.
I know, but how
This doctor's career is ruined now.
I mean, I know that like if I had someone that say if I walked into my flat and Ian was dead, and a doctor came in and went, he's dead, but just to make sure,
give us that brick.
It's like, doctor, you don't have to cave in his face to prove he's dead. Anyway, that was the couch, by the way. That was not me. Yeah, we're nearly at the end of this.
Found the woman alive and very cold. And last year, a man in Mississippi and another man in Brazil woke up in body bags. And in 2013, a man in Zimbabwe woke up right in the middle of his own funeral.
To be fair though, Zimbabwe, that's
I was just
happening all
about
the
to say,
time.
that's probably not someone who's done much medical training. It's like a witch doctor or someone who's come
Exactly,
wandering
yeah.
over. Yeah, he's dead in.
But I heard, I'm sure there's a story from Zimbabwe where they built a coffin and realised that it didn't fit this man, he was too tall. So rather than get a new coffin, they cut off his knees.
It's resourceful.
And just hope that the family wouldn't notice. It's like, oh, he looks very strange there.
They cut off his knees after he died.
Yeah.
Or beforehand. Just to make sure. Go, we've made you your coffin now, it's too small, but we're taking your legs off because you're not going to fit in it.
That is unfortunate. What a terrible place that I've just I've just made up loads of assumptions about based on nothing. Next story is, at first you might think, oh, there's been some miraculous intervention here. This is about the story.
No, it's one of them things, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the story of levitating cars. And you know that I like superheroes.
Yeah.
And well, I prefer supervillains actually. But I think this becomes really obvious that it's not like some miraculous intervention by the way that they levitate. Like, because the way David Blaine levitates, he like he comes up off the ground slowly and elegantly.
This guy just jumps out the way.
well, this is the elegant levitation of cars. Fortunately, it's got no sound. See, now I don't think, like, imagine a superhero that flew like that. Just going, bloody hell! I'll tell you what, one of the funniest things I ever saw was I should really try and find it. I tried and look for it on YouTube for ages, but I couldn't see it. It was someone doing a play of Superman, and he flies away from Lois Lane, and obviously he's on a string or something like that. And as he flies away, he completely loses balance. And ends up twirling away. And you're just like, Superman never flew away like that. I don't remember that. But
we all have off days at the office.
Yeah, exactly.
But this video here, right? Is that even real, or is it just something that someone's made?
Well,
It's saying it's been shared online, but there's no story to it, is there?
No. There is a story to it. I was just about to ask you, what do you think happened? Like, if you saw that, well, you just saw that now for the first time.
Play it again for us. Just rewind it again. Oh, it's an earthquake.
An earthquake?
Or an earth tremor, because the car on that side moves. The car on the other side of the road lifts up. The van next to it lifts up without it touching.
One more time.
Watch the car on this side as well. It's an earthquake or something.
You think it's an earthquake?
What is the actual reason into this? If you give the answer.
No, there's a reason. It's a lot less fun than an earthquake. So there we go, that's a bit closer up. But if you watch that van, the cleaning truck, so apparently these cleaning trucks aren't wireless. Oh no, I imagine it's a cable for something else.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so it's not like a plug.
Right, yeah. Now, that makes a lot more sense than a levitating car. It doesn't really levitate. Just wobbles vaguely in random directions.
Yeah, that must be a strong cable though to lift up 3 cars. I don't know what that could be. It just looked like phone cable.
It is a strange one.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, if you saw that happening in your street, you'd be shocked if that happened in front of you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But the fact it's billed as a levitating car.
Yeah, exactly. Did someone just come in then? No, sorry, I just imagined something. Yeah, how strange.
It is strange, I'll give you that.
Okay, so we're on to the last story now, but I thought, because we usually end with something like just crap.
Yeah.
So I thought we'll end with something a bit meaningful, a bit like a deeper story now. Get into the true heart of the gas panic. And this one is about could robots have feelings? You ever seen iRobot?
I've not, you know.
Have you not seen it? Well, you can imagine it, can't you?
Yeah, it's a robot with feelings.
Is
that the general gist of it? Yeah?
That's the general gist. But
don't need to watch it now.
We'll tell you what, before we get into it, I know loads of people had a debate that, like, if robots had feelings, they might kill us and stuff like that. And it's like, so?
So what?
just like, it'd be really cool, and the majority wouldn't, I imagine.
Yeah, I'd imagine so, yeah. It's only the same. Humans kill each other, so...
Yeah, exactly. And robots, if they still have, like, the kind of calculator kind of thing in their head, they might be able to evaluate logically a lot better. I mean, I guess that's the thing, like, if you're gonna... Because you can program logic, can't you?
Yeah.
So, it's just emotions. And then it's, like, evaluating whether emotions should trump logic.
That's it, I mean... This is getting deep now. But,
I know, yeah.
Like, you could program a series of potential responses from a robot.
Yeah.
And it chooses the most suitable one. And that's all you really do anyway, with your feelings. You can only have so many emotive reactions to something, and you choose the most, what's the word I'm looking for?
Preferable.
Yeah, kind of. The one that seems appropriate at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think I'm just thinking of how are they gonna do it safely, where it's like, because have you ever seen the Neil Blomkamp film, The Robot? He's got.
I've not seen many films about robots.
You not like robots then?
I saw Johnny Five.
Johnny Five. Right, well, tell you what. Let's get into a bit of this, and hopefully we can understand it a bit better. Because I don't think I've seen this myself. I just saw a robot going, "Oh, I'm angry," and that's about it. And I was like, "That's news."
It is for us.
There might be some beeps and things might explode. It all broke when we did this before. I don't know where I am actually. Where am I?
A good question. This is the University of Reading. Dora is a prototype robot designed to help around the home.
The home looks like there isn't all here.
Hundreds of teenagers from schools across the country are here to ask questions about robotics, physics, philosophy, and the meaning of life.
Would you say that a robot could ever have a personality?
Why have they got teenagers again to ask these questions?
That one you did last week about the sugar tax, and they're asking children about fucking political issues.
It's like, look, we've got a good subject here. How can we make it so that it doesn't matter what's said about it?
That's it.
And we'll give it to responses from 15-year-old
Let's go and talk to teenage girls. They'll know all about this.
And they've probably just written the question for them anyway. Because, I don't know how...
And the meaning of life.
Would you say that a robot could ever have a personality?
Oh, absolutely. And robots will behave in different ways. We might have daring robots, we might have stubborn robots, we might have robots that make lots of mistakes, and we can actually imagine them having personalities.
And love how they done it as well, so that he's in his own room as well, just going, oh, she came and found me afterwards, she was that interested. Did he have personalities?
Pre-prepared answer. To be fair, that's only what Stephen Hawking is, really, isn't it? A laptop strapped to a wheelchair.
He is,
it's basically a robot, isn't it?
I imagine, would it be just impressive if like, no, I can't say that.
Go on, you started, you might as well finish.
Okay, this will probably get cut out. But do you reckon if you just had anyone, like, who was in, like, couldn't move the body, and then gave them a laptop, do you reckon people would go, it's alright, isn't it?
What do you mean?
I suddenly go, oh,
He must be
how's he
clever.
doing that? He can't move his fingers. Nothing. Do you not think they go, oh, that's impressive? Even because he don't have to be a rocket scientist. I don't think that's the impressive thing about Stephen Hawking. I think the impressive thing is not that he can work out black holes and stuff. I think that he can work a laptop
With no fingers.
Yeah.
Who's to say it's even him? It could
Yeah,
be somebody
exactly.
just inputting any old shit into a
I know,
laptop.
yeah.
As I remember Carl Pilkington saying about him, he said it's not surprised he's come up with theories like that because all he does is sit on his arse all day doing nothing, so he's got loads of time to think about that stuff.
But Carl Pilkington says it as if like he's got a choice, as if he can just get up and go, ah! But yeah.
Robots with personalities.
Now that's freaky.
See, this is where I thought he was going to go with this story, because you see, it's always a Chinese and Japanese as well, without being racist or stereotypical.
No, they do.
Who
Really
make all
good at
these
making
like
robots.
mad sex robots as well, though, do you know what I mean?
I was just about to get onto that. Have you seen any of the... Well, they're not even sex robots at the moment, but they're basically... it's like a mould of a woman. And they just made it like, you know, the same weight. The texture of the skin is like a woman's skin. I just don't know how, like... How do you buy that, like, without feeling any shame? Like, I can imagine if you just had an abundance of money, you just go, I'll get that as a joke, and then you could get away with it then. But if you're just a guy that's like, you know, I've not had sex in a very long time, I need to buy this lifestyle. That's a whole, what's the guy from Psycho called? Charlie Bates, or Norman Bates, sorry.
Bates.
Yeah, it's a whole Norman Bates thing. You dress them up and stuff like that, and then you end up, having a relationship with her.
Plus, like, you know, when the delivery man turns up and you're not in, you can't just leave that under the mat, can you? Well, the neighbour's got to think when that's just sat there waiting for you.
Can you sign for this? It's a person, isn't it? Well, it's a
Kind
foot
of.
doll. But yeah, that must be so shameful. Like,
and when you look at your bank statement and see like $5,000 gone out for sexdolls.com and you go, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
I just don't. So let's play that out.
Go on.
So it arrives. I'm just thinking this is what I would do if I had ordered one. So it arrives at the door, sign for it, I can get through that. Bit awkward. What's in the package?
Do you have
none
to
of your
assemble
business.
it? Did it come self-assembled or do you have to start putting it together?
That'd be all. It must come self-assembled. There must be like...
But it's easier to ship if it's in parts, isn't it?
That's a good point, actually. But then...
You'd be fuming though as well.
Yeah,
Imagine if you had to put it together.
I
You
know.
sat there with your lube ready to go.
I know, yeah.
And you just go, you need a screwdriver, an Allen key, a set of pliers and an hammer. You're like, for fuck's sake.
That'd completely turn you off as well. Go, bloody hell, I didn't want to make it. I want it to seem natural. I was going to buy it drinks. But,
I suppose that's a good thing. You save loads of money not going out for meals and all that
oh
shit.
my God.
There is bonuses to it, I suppose. And if she's doing your heading, you can just turn her off and have a bit of peace.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I'm warming to this idea, Josh. I'm warming to it.
I quite like it as well. I'm just thinking, like, how much interaction do you get back from the doll? Like, is it like, you know, like you can just buy a vagina on its own.
A muff in a cup.
Yeah, muffin cup. That must be the saddest thing ever. I think that's sadder than a cry wank. Is a muff in a
Probably.
cup. But what was I going to say? So like, do these dolls move?
Well, this is it. How responsive are they? And
I think I'd like it if they were not responsive at all. I've not because I prefer that, but just because
I like big women unconscious.
Just because then it's like, right, well now I'm more aware. I think they should do that. Just have it so that it's completely stiff. None of the joints move or anything. It's got like rigor mortis, and just so you're like, no, you are fucking a dog. Do not confuse this with a real human being. You are. You need. And then at the end, it should just go outside and meet someone. Well, clean up first, obviously, but yeah. So that's my position on sex dolls. I like them.
They're just complicated machines, aren't they?
I can tell you that I'm sad, mad, confused.
These robots have been made with living brain cells from a rat. Their creator claims they can learn and think, and that one day robots could have human brain cells.
Do you understand anything about that? Do you understand how...
I've not studied nothing into that, but there is a lot of... Obviously, there's lots of studying, lots of research going into that kind of thing, because it is only programming. It's the way that you program a computer. I know there's a massive field of research into that kind of thing.
But so how do you get like from a brain cell to going, right, we understand what that is, how do we program it?
I'm assuming they make like a computer-generated version of it.
But like... I mean, this might be something you don't know, but when you look at a brain cell under a microscope, how do they know
what it's doing? Basically, it's all from the synapses in it. So the messages are being sent from one cell to another through synapses, and it's all electrical signals. So they'll measure the electrical response from one cell to another to see that a message is being passed along.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So that's what I'm saying in computer programming terms. Not that I know fuck all about that either, but you just, like I was saying before, surely you could program a range of responses that it then picks the most suitable response at any one time.
Range of responses. I'm just trying to get it sink in. Yeah, but I guess that's too much for my brain to handle. I don't think it'd be any good if they got any of my brain in a robot. I think my version of me as a robot would just be a Y robot. Why should I do that? Why did that happen?
It could be dangerous. I do understand that thing about it being dangerous as well. Because I suppose the closest thing we've seen to a robot is probably Oscar Pistorius, and he was dangerous as fuck, so you have to be really careful, oh yeah.
Didn't he just have metal legs?
Yeah, but he's kind of a robot, isn't
it? People, anyone with metal in it, you're a robot!
You're a robot.
I'll tell you what, there's a really interesting bit coming up now. We see another priest.
That's a surprise.
We see another priest, but people ask... Well, this kid asks him a stupid point. We'll get to the point and then we'll discuss it. But no, there's nothing more to say. Let's get to the point.
Let's get to it.
If you had a robot with the brain of a rat, would it actually think like a rat?
Maybe they'll not only think, but they'll be conscious. And we have to think about giving them rights and, should they vote in elections? Lots of questions in the future.
You'll get your cables plugged in?
Robots with rights, robots that can vote. Questions. Time for a bishop?
If robots can pray, who would they pray to?
Did he just say time for a bishop?
Is that what he said? Rewind it back. Time for a bishop.
Can robots vote? Should they be allowed to have feelings? Time for a bishop.
Is it that time already?
Robots with rights, robots that can vote. Questions. Time for a bishop?
He did actually say time for a bishop. That well-known saying, time for a bishop. You all know what time it is. Time for a bishop.
That is probably the greatest line in news I've ever heard. But this is the question I was talking about. Very Interesting. Well, conversation starting question.
Time for a bishop.
If robots can pray, who would they pray to and what would they pray for? Possibly they might pray to humans as we are, where we could be seen as gods to them.
God, I think, would have a relationship with a robot, and a robot may be able to pray. But I do think it will be a very different relationship to the one that we have with him.
You think?
You could almost say religious people are robots. Bit of satire there.
Yeah.
Bit of satire.
I don't understand why, like, the Bishop of Basingstoke is like, yeah, they might pray. And it's like, well, surely why would they pray to God when we...
They'd be programmed again, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's like, well, what use would that have?
Yeah.
I imagine. Yeah, tell you what. Here we go. Gonna break down some barriers now. If they still pertain like logic, like a calculator, they would see, no matter how emotional they were, they would see that it was illogical to follow a religion or pray because there's so little evidence for it. And all the evidence is in a book.
I like the thinking.
Yeah. So...
a bit of fucking actual thought there on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Robots...
would not pray.
Yeah, I can say that, and I can also
With
say...
some authority.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought that through more than the Bishop of Basingstoke, who thinks that they would pray to God.
Slammed.
Where is Basingstoke?
I've not. Is it down London? I'm guessing here now. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I like the fact you was arguing if Berkshire and Berkshire were the same place the other week. We don't do geography.
Are they the same place?
Berkshire and Berkshire, yeah. It's
Are
just
they
how
two
you
different
pronounce
places?
it. No, it's the same place.
Alright, same place. And how is it pronounced?
I'd say Berkshire.
I've heard Berkshire. I think I'm the only one that said
But
Berkshire.
it's spelled B-E-R-K.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so I could be right.
you could be. We'd have to ask the people of Berkshire or Berkshire. I know we've got a massive fan base down there anyway, so I'm sure they'll be in touch before next week's podcast.
Exactly, yeah. If you are from Berkshire or Berkshire, get in touch and just tell us the pronunciation of that and also what you think about praying robots.
And if you're from Basingstoke, let us know where it actually is.
Yeah, and what's the bishop like? So many questions.
So little time.
Yeah, right. So I thought that'd be... I didn't think that I would be able to come up with an answer for that. I thought that was going to be like...
I thought it was pretty well thought out, that.
Yeah, a catch-22 one. Right, so let's carry on.
The whole point of a day like this is not just for students. Teachers are here too. The aim to show them that learning can be fulfilling outside what some see as the compartmentalised restrictions of the national curriculum.
We are very driven by curricula that's set out for us, but it would be good to have more days like this where students can really engage with a certain question and see it from a whole spectrum of viewpoints.
I never really thought of robots being like alive, but I suppose today sort of made me think, well, they could be.
If you can make a robot that does everything like a human, then why are we so special? So, yeah.
We're not special.
We're not.
Yeah. So, well, wouldn't that make us special that we made something that could be exactly like us and we've not done it before? I mean, what counts as special?
This is it. I think it's a good technology thing because obviously they can be useful for things.
Yeah. But it's like... I know she's young, but like, is she saying, right, we should not... I don't think these alive robots are a good idea because then we're not special anymore. Is that what she's saying?
I think that's kind of what she's getting at, yeah.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, you're not special.
Yeah, you're especially not special. You're
Special
an idiot.
needs.
Yeah, oh my God.
We can't just start slagging off children.
Oh, yeah.
That's inappropriate.
Yeah, we got to the point now of just... yeah, maybe we're tired. I remembered what I was going to say about the Queen.
Go on.
I was going to say, because I came up with an analogy before, because the bishop was going, oh, she's hilarious. And have you ever had a girl that goes, have you met my friend Rob? He's hilarious. And then you meet him, and he's just
not.
gay. And that's it. And it's like, no, you're confusing gayness with hilarity. It's like, I met him and he was gay. What do you do, Rob? I'm a chef. Great.
Hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, he's so funny. It's like, no, he's just gay.
I've heard that comparison be made before as well, like, oh, he's a character. No, he's just someone who wears a stupid hat or dresses like
Oh,
a
yeah.
knobhead. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I think girls need to really take a long, hard look at themselves.
I think there's a lot of
Reevaluate the
deep-rooted
friendship
issues coming out in this podcast with your misogyny and hatred of women.
I don't have hatred for women. I just think sometimes they're a bit silly.
You need to wise up.
Like, because I'm not saying gay people can't be funny. I just think that the ones I think when a girl says that, usually when they go, and I'm only talking about when they introduce you to like a gay friend or something like that. It's just like that kind of, the silly gay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being homophobic here because I like gays, but you know where it's just like, hello.
I think that's even like gay or not. When you're told someone's really funny before you meet them,
Yeah.
they're on a loser straight away.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
unless they're Billy Connolly funny, you're just gonna think they're a cunt.
Exactly, and who on first meeting just breaks into a joke? Just, hey, you're right, I'm Rob. Funny thing happened the other day, you see, it was and then just straight into it. But I think I've been told by a few people, John and Aid, that before I get introduced to people, I come with a warning. so I kind of like that. It's like, yeah, Josh is really nice.
But.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I come with a but. So I kind of like that. I think it's a bit interesting. It doesn't expect anything of me. It just makes people on edge.
I don't think you even know what you're gonna say sometimes. I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with that.
You have a level of inappropriateness that is just funny. But when you've never met someone and they're that inappropriate from the offset, it can be discerning for people, I think.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. Right, so let's get off this girl because we're insulting her. It's not fair.
Do androids dream of electric sheep? Sometimes it's all about asking the question rather than getting an easy answer. Graham Satchell, BBC News.
Obviously not, though. Did he dream of electric? Well, no, we'd not even gave them
no.
anything yet. And would they? Probably not.
I very
Unless you
much
made an
doubt it.
electric sheep and that's all they'd saw. Our dreams, tell you what.
Here we go now. Here we go now.
I'm going on a tangent now. I heard that dreams are basically, they cannot be made up of something you imagine. So everything in your dream is a merge of something you've seen before.
Oh, right, yeah, something you've experienced.
So you won't see a made-up face. You'll see someone's face that you've seen before, or a mixture of faces that you've seen up before. I was just going to say, is that true? But I guess it's debated.
Yeah, I'm thinking the jury's out.
Yeah, exactly. Paul,
why do you keep asking me these questions?
Is
that an authority on these things?
Well, I know that you're more informed than me, so I'm going for all. What's the meaning of life, Paul? Yeah, sorry, I don't have I'm just putting way too much relying on you
all
too
the big
much.
philosophical questions.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't think we've solved anything, to be honest.
I think we just raised more problems.
I think we've just muddied the issues of anything.
I think we've took the news and misused its point. Yeah, just like it wasn't saying that, but we'll pretend it did. Anyway, that is actually the last video clip, and I think that's going to be the end of this podcast. But is there anything you want to say before we leave?
Not really, no. Get down to the gigs, watch the videos, share all the gas panic stuff, and don't believe everything you see on the news.
Yeah.
Tied it up nicely there at the end.
Yeah, exactly. So, I've been Josh, you've been Paul.
Yep. It's good night from me, and it's good night from him.
Exactly. See you next time.
Bye.
You heard, like I'm never gonna ask someone. Hands off, you heard, how am I supposed to be someone. I bet you think my heart is cold.